Welcome back to 100 Lies the God Culture Teaches About the Philippines. Today's lie concerns the Philippine flag and national anthem. Timothy claims they contain biblical prophecy, but as we shall see, that is a lie. In one of his videos, Tim explains the alleged biblical prophecy contained in the Philippine flag and the words of the national anthem.
So let's look here at the national flag of the Philippines. Notice the symbol of the sun. Are there other countries that have such? Certainly there are, many in fact. But take a look at their national anthem, Lupang Hinirang, or Chosen Land. Interesting. Land of the morning. Why? Well, the sun rises in the east and has been considered the Far East as far back as history goes, really. The Orient is well recorded. Even Japan is also known as the land of the rising sun. And it sits parallel to the Philippines. But it is not a lost tribe territory, thus it does not fit this, but the Philippines is. Now read the next line though. Very odd. Child of the sun returning. Wow. The first time we saw that, we thought, well, it must be sun god symbology. Yet in lieu of these findings in Revelation 12, perhaps not. Never shall invaders trample thy sacred shores. Sacred shores. Funny. Understand this anthem is written after the Spanish had invaded in about 1898. They were invaded by the U.S. in the very next year, in fact, and also Japan in World War II. So that did not come true then, right? Or did it? Actually, if in fact this is a reference referring to Satan attacking as the enemy, it would be accurate. A minor point, but we look at everything that we see here. However, is the Philippines the land of the sun? That's the symbology we're looking for. The answer, yes. And look at the Greek word use here. The word is helios, which means sun, but also actually means east. Why? Because the sun rises in the east. You see that with Hebrew and Greek words often. Nothing abnormal about that. But literally, one could replace the word east in the passage, and it would be accurate. A woman clothed in the east. And we know it's Jacob, and Jacob's descendants in the east are in the Philippines. We looked up all the words in this passage basically in Greek, but they are really translated pretty appropriately as things like clothed is pretty much clothed each time it's used, or arrayed, which is maybe a better word, but pretty much the same thing. The anthem continues to mention the nation's radiance, again more sun language, but thy banner dear to all hearts, its sun and stars all right. So yes, we see star symbology here too, but we'll get there. Oh, never shall its shining fields be dimmed by tyrants' might. There have been tyrants, but they have not lasted in the Philippines. Remember that. Again, they were attacked, but they have gained their independence just after World War II, in fact, and they remain so. And even now, we begin to see the prophecy of Messiah in Matthew 12:42 as Sheba, Ophir, Philippines, begins to rise against corruption, against the New World Order, the beast, whichever you wish to call it, which is also exactly what this land, which protects the woman, is really doing when you look at the passage. They are taking a stand against the dragon. In our opinion, this is far too much to overlook. So, land of the morning, child of the sun returning, child of Jacob the son returning. The 144,000. And more language. Beautiful land of love, O land of light. Now there are 3 lights in Genesis that were placed in the firmament. What are they? The sun, the moon, and the stars. In thine embrace 'tis rapture to lie. Rapture? The man-child is from the woman, Israel, and is birthed in heaven. And raptured, the actual Greek word used there is harpazo. No, every time you see that word mean in Scripture, it does not mean that is the rapture doctrine. You first have to prove the rapture doctrine is scriptural, and then you can start applying the word in such a way. But you can't do it the other way around. This is not the rapture. It cannot be the rapture of the rapture doctrine. Absolutely not. So rapture to the throne room of Yahuwah. Think about it. But it is glory ever when thou art wronged, for us thy sons to suffer and die. No doubt could be a military reference there, and that's fine. But it's a very interesting choice of words, especially throughout the entire national anthem. We find these kinds of things all over the Philippine history. But the main point here is the Philippines a land of Jacob? Yes, lost tribes migrated there. Thus it is the sun, and even uses sun symbology. It just piles on top of all of this to just confirm the Philippines is the land that clothes the woman in the sun. So does it fit here? We believe it does.
Tim also mentions this alleged prophecy in his book The Search for King Solomon's Treasure. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, Tim is interpreting the Bible through Freemasonic symbology. The flag of the Philippines was designed by Emilio Aguinaldo and is replete with Masonic symbols. The original flag designed by Freemason Aguinaldo had a sun with a face on it inside a white triangle, and the design was a tribute to the lodge to which he belonged. In fact, the entire independence movement was Freemasonic in origin and spirit. Even the national anthem came about due to the Freemasons. From the Cabletao, the official magazine of Philippine Freemasonry.
The untold story of our national anthem is that the music and the lyrics came into being because of the inspiration and prompting of Freemasons. Rafael Palma, who became Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of the Philippines in 1920, wrote how the lyrics of the national anthem came about. Thus, during the leisure hours allowed by the daily and especially at night after the day's work, the members of the staff of La Independencia, seeking to amuse themselves and to be relieved from their physical weariness, used to assemble together and sing or play on musical instruments. Their souls, afflicted by the military situation, which was growing worse every day, needed spiritual elation, and they found it in singing war tunes and martial songs which made them forget the bitterness of a sad reality. It was in one of those occasions that Jose Palma saw the necessity of writing a poem for the words of the Marcha Nacional Filipina. Although this march was known since the beginning of the revolution and was hummed by everybody, it had not yet been any words accompanying it. To suit its music, he wrote a poem, Filipinas, which was published for the first time in the issue of the first anniversary of La Independencia on September 3, 1899. The spirit of his verses glowed with an optimistic faith in the future, because then it was the general belief that it would be impossible for the American forces to dominate the entire archipelago. The music and the lyrics of our national anthem no doubt came about when our forebears fought for their freedom and independence, but its patriotic message transcends their time. Patriotism is in the heart of the nationalists who love their country. The involvement of Freemasons in the development of our national anthem is more than a coincidence. The message is clear: Freemasons love freedom, and the national anthem bears the imprint of their devotion.
The fact is, the Philippine national anthem is thoroughly steeped in Freemasonry. It is absolutely not a Bible-based prophecy. Unbelievably, Tim is basing his interpretation of Revelation 12 on symbols rooted in and originating from Philippine Freemasonry. Is he really this dumb? Yes, he is. Timothy J. Schwab is interpreting Bible prophecy through the lyrics of the Freemasonic Philippine national anthem, which is irrational, insane, and is simply another lie the God culture teaches about the Philippines.